Oh, mama, I'm in fear. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been bounced from the playoffs. We got that. We got college football semifinals. We got other NFL game recaps and previews coming up. Flag on the Take is back. Let's get it going. What's up, Jordan? We won't get into the Steelers right yet. We'll save that for a little bit later. We'll go in chronological order like we normally do. But I just felt like that was a good rendition of Renegade I did in the beginning there.
Hey, it was kind of hurt my soul.
But we are back. We're going to be talking some college football, the semifinals, and a preview of the national championship. We're going to be talking about the games, the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend, and the divisional round picks and previews. We got a lot to get into today. It's going to be mostly football based, but we're going to get started with college football in the chronological order like we normally do. So let's get the big one out of the way first. OSU absolutely opens up that can of Austin 316 whoop ass on the Texas Longhorns.
Sure.
That was crazy.
It was crazy. I don't know if I was expecting that for sure. But wasn't OSU they were your pick though going in, correct?
Yeah, they were
correctly.
Yeah, my brain picked OSU and my heart picked Oregon at the beginning of the season.
Did you think it was going to be how it was though?
No, I didn't think Ohio State was going to be dominant in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so either. But at the same time, this is a crazy playoff, so you never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, dude, it was actually insane. You know what's funny is so for those who don't know, I'm a massive wrestling fan, and on the Monday Night Raw before this game, The Undertaker came back like for the special preview or whatever, and Pat McAfee is always picked against Texas like the past few weeks, and I guess Undertaker took that personally. So when he came out, he came out on the motorcycle and was riding around and like off script stopped in front of the commentators table and did the horns up. He said, "Hook 'em, brother!" like right in Pat McAfee's face, and then kept going.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Undertaker is in shambles about that. But of freaking course, it was Columbus kid Jack freaking Sawyer that sealed the game. That's straight out of a movie. Straight out of a movie. Kid stays when he could have been drafted in the first 3 rounds in the NFL to win a Natty. He doesn't beat Michigan, but damn if he does not seal the semifinals for his beloved Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yep. I'm not going to lie. I think I kind of wanted Texas to win this game, but
I 100% wanted Texas to win this game.
Yeah. What is we kind of talked about it a little bit. Where does your dislike of OSU come from? Or where do you think it stems from?
Oh, it definitely stems. So my family is Michigan fans, and I didn't adopt the love for Michigan. Like, I catch myself rooting for them here and there, but like they're not like my team. Like, I don't own like a bunch of like Michigan Wolverine stuff, but I did adopt the hatred for Ohio State.
Actually, yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, I remember.
Because not only... I think where it comes from is that, and also that was back when Ohio State and Maryland still played basketball.
Yeah.
And Ohio State would like knock us out for no good reason. Like when Maryland was good. So that definitely played a part in it.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
And I hated Urban Meyer too, so it all kind of just compiled. And you know I'm a big Harbaugh guy.
They are going into the Natty. We're going to talk about it as far as our picks.
They're gonna kill Notre Dame, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the same thing.
But Will Howard is, from what I'm hearing, is playing himself to being drafted, which is crazy considering how he began this season.
Has he said anything about coming out this year?
He has to. This is his final year.
Oh, he's a senior. Okay.
Yeah. He's a super senior.
What has he played? 5 years? 6 years?
6. This is 6.
Oh, yeah, for sure then. What, he had 2 red shirts?
No, he had a red shirt and then his COVID year.
Okay. It's always that COVID year.
It's like the last year COVID year. Last year. Thank God.
That tight end from Miami ended his career this year. That was funny, too.
Dude, did you see where it's possible now where you can play 9 years of college football?
Yeah, he did.
No, like it's possible now for like multiple people to do that.
Oh, is it just as far as like having like medical years, or is it
so
like...
it's you declare, well, you sign with a JUCO, red shirt, play for 2 years, transfer, since now playing for JUCO doesn't count against it.
Yeah.
Red shirt, play a year, injury red shirt, and then play like a few more years. And it like adds up to like 8 or 9 years. It's actually insane. Yeah.
27, 28 by the time you're out of college.
That's disgusting. But Texas didn't move the needle for me like at all. Like Quinn Ewers going into this season, I felt like was a consensus top 10 pick, and he has played himself back out so bad into the point now where I don't even think he's coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't. So I saw an ESPN article that was talking about him saying that he'll enter the draft. So I don't know how much validity that has, but with it being on ESPN, I'm assuming a good bit.
Well, the validity's definitely there because they had him on College Game Day and he just flat out said like I'm going to the draft no matter what. But
Yeah,
I heard he got a $6 million offer in the portal, so I
6 million.
mean 6 million for 1 year is more than what he would make as a fourth round pick. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look at Carson Beck. He was going to be like a fifth round pick and instead got a $2-3 million payday or more from Miami.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say he's transferring to Miami. Yep.
I can't believe
Man,
that dude still has eligibility.
man, what? I don't think Miami's a bad move for him though.
No, I mean it worked out for Cam Ward. But speaking of quarterbacks and hitting portals and stuff, what is next for Quinn Ewers? Let's let's
Ooh.
let's dive more into that
Mm-hmm.
because he can't stay at Texas no matter
No.
what he chooses.
Mm-mm.
Because then they'll lose Arch Manning, and they'll be damned if that's going to happen.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't think even if he stayed here, he would play himself into like what he was going in. I feel like he messed it up. I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
like he
lie.
could if he comes back and wins the Heisman or like something like that.
But that's just me because we already know I'm not a Quinn Ewers fan. I don't see it.
Right.
I wasn't even seeing it even when you were a little bit higher on him than you are now. That was just me personally.
I
But
just thought he was a safer pick than the other two. I
yeah,
wasn't
which I
saying he was.
get.
I wasn't saying he was going to be the best, but I was definitely saying he would have been the safest.
Yeah, no, I
But
completely understand that.
Quinn can't stay because Arch and also both of their weapons are declaring. Golden and Bond are both heading to the draft. I don't know if you
Hmm.
saw that.
I did. I saw the golden. I didn't see Bond was that Isaiah Bonds was.
Yeah, that was literally like a couple hours ago at the
Okay.
before the time of recording.
Yeah. Golden was their leading receiver, wasn't
Yeah, that's only because Bond missed a few games.
he? Okay. Yeah. I'm about to say because Isaiah Bond's tough.
Oh yeah, he's because he was good at Bama too.
Hmm. I think it kind of worked out though because either way, people know what Isaiah Bonds is. They know what Isaiah Bond is, and then Matthew Golden got his chance to shine. So
Now I think the Quinn Ewers is more open for debate, but I have heard whispers, and I think this one's more sealed, cut and dry. But I still
hmm
bring it up just in case. What do you think Sark's gonna do?
is there anything about him leaving?
There's like that's what I'm saying. I'm hearing whispers that like he's getting NFL interest, but I don't know if he would take that.
I don't. I don't know if that's his bag.
Now this is really far reaching because like people were saying that Jerry was more at the game to watch Sark than he was to like just be there.
Yeah.
Which now that McCarthy and the Cowboys have gone their separate ways, it's there's plausible deniability, but at the
Hmm.
same time like it is a little bit of a stretch.
Although I've heard Dion whispers as far as Jerry Jones is concerned in Dallas.
Yeah, that's stuff that's coming out today or yesterday at the time of this releasing. But yeah, I'm hearing Dion like I don't think he's gonna take it, but I am hearing that like he at least took the call, which
Oh yeah, but he's in talks with Jerry.
he said he took the call just out of respect for Jerry, which I get because
Hmm.
Jerry changed his life forever in a
Hmm.
good way.
I don't know if he would be interested though.
I think he'd only be interested if they got Shadur,
Yeah, I think
which
that's the only reason.
people were like, "Oh, just trade Dak Prescott for the first overall pick." The Titans are not doing that,
No.
and then the Cowboys would have a Russell Wilson type dead cap because they just signed him to an extension.
Yeah.
If Dak was in like had only had like a year or two left on his deal, then that could have been possible, but not fresh off the extension. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's not happening.
But I just keep tabs on Sark. I'm not saying Sark's leaving, but don't be shocked to see Sark's name on a couple of these interview lists,
Yeah.
which we'll get into more of the head coaching carousel later when we dive deeper into the NFL. But let's get into another game that has another quarterback who could potentially decide to stay instead of go. Let's get into the Notre Dame Penn State game.
Hmm.
Oh, I had Penn State in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted them to win really, really bad. I think I had Penn State in this game as well when we had talked about it last week. I do want to say Katron Allen and Nick Singleton are both staying.
I saw that.
Yeah, and we already know Drew Aller staying. So as far as like the aftermath of the game, it seems like they could make another push. You know what I'm saying?
Which
But
is crazy because I thought Aller like would have been a first round pick, but
yeah,
I think he played himself out of it too.
yeah. Not saying that he played terribly, but he didn't, really elevate himself either.
I mean, that was just boneheaded at the end of the game.
Yeah,
That was horrible.
yeah. It was a weird game to me. Definitely was predicated on as far as Riley Leonard played kind of strange. I don't know. Was it just me?
No, I don't think he played that good.
Okay.
Shout out that Italian that came in for to relieve him when he
Yeah.
got knocked
Oh,
out.
Angeli? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Angeli was a dog when he came in. I was like, yo, who is this kid?
Yeah, Italian.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, he made some good reads.
Oh my god, he went in there and slung it.
Yeah,
I'm honestly
yeah. He was supposed to be their starter right before they went and got uh
Riley Leonard.
yeah. Dang, I forgot his name that fast. Yep.
Yeah, he was supposed to be their starter, and then I think he's a junior. I think I saw like he's not like some
Angeli?
freshman. Yeah,
Let me see.
yeah, I'm pulling it up too.
Yeah, he's a junior.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That
he's a junior. Baby face too.
that's insane. He stayed there that
He could
long.
pass for a sophomore.
But speaking of staying there that long, Marcus Freeman. Wow, I feel like Marcus Freeman has really like everyone knew he was like a good coach, but like he has shown that he is an elite coach
Hmm.
in these playoffs, in my opinion.
And he has a crisp hairline, the crispiest hairline.
Oh my god, that fade, sensational.
Sensational.
Every time.
As everybody wish their hairline looked like. I'm pretty sure it's a hair piece, but we're not going to get into that.
I don't care. He looks phenomenal.
It is crispy. Yeah, it was crispy.
Dude, oh my god. And then when he's doing the interviews and he's got that chain too. Oh.
Cole, you sound like you got a man crush, though.
Nah, he fits the part.
No, he does. He does. He's a fly dude. I'm not gonna lie. And then that lineup's crispy. I know those who are losing their hairlines at this juncture wish they had one like that.
Dude, when Rich Eisen was talking about him, that was hilarious.
What did Rich Eisen say?
He was saying about how like he wish he had half the hair of Marcus Freeman. And then James Franklin was like, yeah, like we're similar coaches, but this guy has a significantly better hairline than me or
Yo,
whatever.
imagine Rich Eisen with a taper. Yo, I'd cry. I would cry.
That would be Rashawn Eisen at that point.
Rashawn Eisen. Rashawn Eisen.
Oh man, but yeah, that he's not even 40 yet, and he's already getting NFL interest. So Marcus Freeman, we're gonna be hearing about him for the next 30 years.
Shout out to Marcus Freeman for sure.
Yeah, if you're Marcus Freeman, do you take the Bears job or do you stay at Notre Dame? I think if they win it
Depends
all,
on you with the Natty. If you win the Natty, go.
that's what I was going to say. I think if they win it, I think he's definitely gone. But I think if they lose, I think it's like iffy. Is Marcus an offensive or defensive coach?
Pretty sure he's a defensive coach.
Oh God, just what the Bears need. Another defensive head coach.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I know this is off topic, but just real quick, did you see the Bengals are interviewing Eberflus for the DC? Yes, they're interviewing Eberflus for the DC.
Oh my gosh, I hope they do.
I hope they do.
I would also
Please.
like to preface this by saying, just real quick. Yeah, Freeman was Notre Dame's defensive coordinator for a season before he became the head coach.
Oh God.
Okay, but yeah, I didn't know Eberflus. Yo,
That would
I hope
be
he gets
sick.
the job. I hope
I'm
he gets
praying.
the job.
I'm praying on his success.
Man, Freeman got a crispy hairline. All right, moving on. Dog, I started looking at images. Yo.
But I think Freeman, if he's a defensive head coach, I don't think he should take it. Caleb needs an offensive guru, for better or worse.
Yeah, for sure. I think he does too. He needs a.
I do think in the next couple
He
years,
needs a
though,
Ben Johnson. That's what he needs.
Ben Johnson's not going there.
I don't think he would, but if he were to, if he wanted to play around with a quarterback, kind of mold him into his own, he could use it.
I don't know why the Bears aren't selling the farm to get Ben Johnson, but we'll get into that later.
Are they interviewing him?
Yeah, he's taking a couple interviews.
Okay.
But yeah, so Penn State loses again. They're running it back with the same crew next year. I don't have any more faith in them next year than I do this year, just simply on the fact that I think James Franklin will find a way to blow it once again next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think their path is going to be as easy next year as it was this year. This year they had a pretty easy path. So, and they're losing Abdul Carter and a couple other studs that are going to the draft.
Abdul might go number one. I don't
He
think
ain't
he
going
will.
number one.
Listen, I don't think he will because of the quarterbacks. But listen, he has a puncher's chance.
Do you count Travis Hunter as a defensive player?
Yes.
Okay, I think Abdul Carter will be the second defensive player taken then. If Travis is a defensive player, then Abdul Carter
My
will be the
question to
second.
you is, what do you think they're going to make Travis in the league? I say corner.
He's going to be a corner.
I just don't think he has the. Now he has the athleticism. I just don't think he has the like the nuances of the wide receiver position, like he does the cornerback position.
He was recruited as a corner, so I think he'll stay that. But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't think Notre Dame, or excuse me, I don't think Penn State will win it until they get rid of James Franklin, which is tough because what do you do with James Franklin? I mean, you know how hard it is to fire a coach that goes 10-2 every year, but like at the same time, you're not. He's never gonna get over the hump. I
Yeah,
feel
sounds
like.
like Mike Tomlin, but we're getting to that.
Oh, are we? But just to button up the James Franklin thing, I don't know how you. He's impossible to get rid of, but he's also impossible to keep.
Hmm.
It's the definition of insanity. So
Hmm.
if I was Penn State's AD, like you can't just keep swimming in this 10-2, get eliminated in the divisional or semifinals or whatever, and every year not because Penn State's alum and fan base expect natties, and James
Yeah.
Franklin's not going to deliver a natty.
So you think he's gone?
They're not going to fire him, but they
Mm.
should. Like he's a great recruiter, but he just shrivels up. I mean, the play calling in the second half was so conservative,
Hmm.
but he does that every big game.
Yeah. Uh, you said it. I wanted to believe, but you had said it beforehand. James Franklin, he can't win the big games. No, he did not.
And even if they beat Notre Dame, Ohio State is his boogeyman. So
Yeah.
there was no way in hell they were going to beat Ohio
We're gonna
State
get clapped.
because they
I think
played.
I think OSU is gonna win it all, to be honest. But we'll talk about it soon.
Oh yeah, no. Let's get into that. I said all I needed to say about James
Yeah.
Franklin. I think Ohio State is going to kill Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's going to be close.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. But I do think OSU is gonna pull it out. I just don't. OSU has offensive firepower. You can talk as much trash about, you know what I mean? Because I know we get on Will Howard, but just like the weapons that he has at
But
his
he's low key
disposal.
been playing good too.
That's what I'm saying. Like just the weapons that he has at his disposal. I don't know. Again, Notre Dame has a run game. They have defense. I just I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up if it turns into a shootout. Which I don't know if it will because I do think their defense is good enough to contain OSU to a degree. Uh, but I don't know, man. Ibuka, Jeremiah Smith, who's the running back? Travion Henderson, who hasn't played bad. He's had a pretty good year.
Judkins.
Judkins, I forgot about Judkins. So I don't know. I'm picking OSU all the way though.
Oh yeah, me too. I don't think Notre Dame. As long as Ohio State doesn't try to out tough Notre Dame, then they're gonna kill them. If they
Hmm.
try to do what they do with Michigan and try to out tough them, they're not gonna win. But if they just play their football and just feed their receivers, they're going to slaughter them.
Yeah, they
Because
got a
that
freaking track team.
yeah, that defense flies around too. Notre Dame's defense flies around too, but if they get into a shootout, they're not gonna be able to run the ball as much as they would like to. And
Yeah, and
I
I
don't
don't know how
think
much I trust Riley Leonard because he turns the ball over.
yeah, Caleb Downs lurking back there. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So I got Ohio State winning. I could even see this being by 3 touchdowns. I won't
Whew.
pick it by 3 touchdowns, but you could
Whew.
if you told me that Ohio State won 35-14, I
You
would
wouldn't
not
be
be
surprised?
shocked. No,
Yeah.
not even in the slightest.
I
Now
don't
if
think
you
I would be.
if you told me Notre Dame won 35-14, I would tell you to get off the drugs, but I think Ohio State could win by as little as 3 points and I can see them winning by as many as 3 touchdowns. So,
Yeah. I think Will Howard would have to crap the bed as bad as Justin Herbert did in order for them to lose that bad.
and I think Ryan Day would have to shrivel up like he does against Michigan in order to lose this game. Like Ryan Day would have to have an all-time collapse to lose this game,
I agree.
especially it being at neutral site.
Other than the receivers, this may sound crazy. Just don't think that this is like one of the greatest OSU teams.
The roster's pretty stacked.
Maybe it's just me.
They don't have as many like star names, but in terms
Yeah.
of like actual
That
talent,
must be what
they're
it
really
is.
stacked.
Yeah, they're probably solid all around, huh? 4 stars, 5 stars everywhere.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's OSU. That's
A couple of their starting O
Doesn't happen.
linemen got hurt, and they had like freshman 5 stars coming in and replace them.
Whew. Okay,
Like,
yeah,
like
that
it's
makes
that
sense.
kind of talent.
That makes sense. I'm about to say, like, as far as offensively, yeah, but they always got names at receivers. Honestly, I put them up there right now in terms of the talent that they're pumping out every year. I'd put them up there with like LSU or
Yeah,
like
I
Bama.
would, I would say that it's either LSU or Ohio State or wide receiver U.
Yeah, it was Bama for a little bit, but I think recently they fell off a little bit. But maybe Ryan Williams, or if they get anybody else in, it might turn that around.
Yeah, Ryan Williams could definitely turn it around. That dude's gonna be a star.
Yeah,
But I can't believe we only have one college football game left. Crazy.
I know. Yeah, I know.
It feels
But
like it just started.
I think it's going to be a good one. When is that? Is that this
It,
weekend?
It's this upcoming Monday.
Okay, it is always a Monday. Yeah,
Yeah, which is weird, but
it is
yeah,
really weird,
it's this
but it works
upcoming
out, I
Monday.
guess. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, but enough about college. Let's get into the big leagues.
Oh boy. All right, let me mentally prepare myself.
And like I've been saying, we will go in chronological order, so you don't have to worry about sparing yourself initially. But out the gate, we'll start with the first game, and quite frankly, one of the more shocking games. I feel
Yeah,
like.
it definitely was because I picked the Chargers.
Oh, I definitely picked the Chargers. I thought
Yeah,
the Texans were washed.
yeah,
I thought they were done for.
I thought
But
they were as well. But
uh,
let's get into it.
dude, let's start with the good. I mean, Stroud started playing like Stroud again. The defense was flying around.
Were they?
Joe Mixon is, I don't know what it is about him just in the playoffs. Just what an absolute dog in the playoffs. And then Nico Collins just, I think he had like 2 touchdowns and like almost 200 yards.
Yeah, don't forget that Deontay Johnson had 12 yards.
You talking about the same Deontay Johnson that got waived a couple hours ago?
Yes, the exact same Deontay Johnson. What happened? Okay, we're not. We'll get into that later. Let's
Yeah.
focus on the game. But geez, man.
I mean, the Texans just had their way. They started off really bad. Like the Chargers went down, drove right down the field, kicked a field goal, and then the
Yep.
next play, they had that, what was it, a fumble, and then they kicked another field goal. And I texted my buddy Kyle, who's the Chargers fan, and I told him, I said, dude, I know you guys are up 6-0, and like it's looked easy, but the Texans low key have the momentum because it could easily be 14-0,
Yeah,
and it's still a one possession game.
yeah. And then turnovers start to happen. I want to say at least like I feel like a couple of those weren't, especially that one where oh my goodness, I think he was trying to hit Nico or somebody. Or no, other way around. I'm sorry. Herbert was trying to hit Quentin Johnson. I think it was like on a crosser. Or he was running out. He was running something, and it went straight through his hands.
Oh,
And
you're thinking of Lad,
that was Lad.
the one that where he
Yeah,
jumped
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
he had like a 3 foot vert.
yeah,
Yeah, that was Lad.
yeah. I'm like, dog. Like, a couple of them weren't his fault, but for the most part, he didn't.
No, that Lad one was definitely Herbert's fault because Lad shouldn't have to jump 3 feet to catch the ball.
Yeah, but Lad did go off though.
And then there was one, like you said, I forget who it was, where like
Yeah,
hit
it
right
might
in the
not have been
hands.
Lad. There was another one where I'm thinking of.
I mean, when
'Cause
there's
I think
four
you're right.
interceptions, it's hard to remember all of them.
Yeah, because I felt like he threw like 6 watching the game.
Yeah, but I think it's time to have the conversation about Justin Herbert. And I've been a massive Herbert defender, but he's made it to where like it's not even like defendable. If he had 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, like I could at least defend that. But like 4 interceptions, my guy, when you only threw 3 all year.
Yeah. I don't want to call him a social media quarterback like everybody else does, but at this point,
No, I won't call him a social media quarterback yet, but I definitely think he's not like top 7 like we
yeah,
all thought he
yeah,
was.
I won't put him on the level Trace McSorley or anybody yet. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And what,
keyword there was definitely yet.
and what's crazy is that Miss Hizzy's been low key calling this about Herbert.
And I bet you she would take him in a heartbeat. So would I. If he wants to come to the Steelers, he can
Oh
come on.
yeah, I mean Herbert's still top 10.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, when Lamar was having his playoff struggles, like Lamar was still top 10. He was just
Yeah.
having playoff struggles. Same thing with Herbert. But Herbert's got to win a big game, whether even if it's in the regular season, just win a big game, beat somebody big, get
Yeah.
that like signature win.
Yeah, some of these picks are awful though.
And I'm not saying they need to like trade him or move off of him or draft a new quarterback. I'm just saying Herbert needs to get his shit together.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's the main thing. I feel like, especially now that you got a legit coach too. Like, this is your time, bro.
Hear me out. Now, different game, but I'm gonna put these two together because they're just reminding me of each other. Now, the other quarterback that I'm talking about didn't play this bad, but they don't play the same. But as far as like where they are in their careers, I feel like Justin Herbert and Jordan Love remind me so much of each other. And when I say that, I mean is just being on. Now, Green Bay's more of a cornerstone organization than the Chargers, so I'm not saying that Chargers are cornerstone, this, that, and the other. But I mean, as far as just having a solid team around you, I'd say now. Don't get me wrong. I think the Chargers still need a little bit of receiver help, even though Quentin Johnson's came around and
A
Lad
little.
McConkey. He's a Lad McConkey's a rising star, but other than Quentin Johnston, who again is hit or miss, they definitely need help. But I feel as far as like when you talk about those two, it's like elite talent, but not sure if they're exactly like elite quarterbacks.
Which is crazy because Herbert has all like the physical
All right,
tools.
same with Jordan Love, but we're not calling them, for echelon.
I mean, if I didn't have Lamar Jackson, I would definitely want Justin Herbert on my football team.
Hmm.
But and I'm not even saying he's like a playoff choker, like because like the 31-point comeback the Jaguars did, that's not all his fault. It's definitely
Yeah,
some of his fault, but it's not all his fault.
yeah.
And in like this game, I don't want to say it's all his fault, but it's definitely a vast majority of it. I got to see him again when they sign T. Higgins this offseason.
You think they're gonna get T Higgins?
They're either getting T or Chris Godwin. They're getting
They
one or the
get
other.
T. That's a match made in heaven, my boy.
And then I think they'll sign T. Higgins or Chris Godwin, and then they need to draft. They need to get like I don't want to say like a lockdown corner, but or either that or like draft like an edge rusher, and they can get rid of like Bosa or Mack, save some
Hmm.
money there.
Hmm.
But I think if they keep beefing up their lines, they sign T. Higgins. I really think Justin Herbert will shine. They do need a more reliable running back. Not calling J.K. Dobbins unreliable, but I am calling him injury prone.
He is. I was about to say that's not a
Can you
crazy
imagine if they
statement.
get like, or if they like bring Dobbins back and then draft like Judkins? Can you imagine those two as like it's kind of like an off-brand Jameer Gibbs
Yeah,
Monty type thing?
yeah. You don't have to go high in this draft. Like there's still good backs even after Genty. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, oh yeah.
So you can wait.
Genty's a lock at 12
Is
with the
the kid out of
Cowboys.
Oklahoma coming out? Ollie Gordon?
Well, I haven't heard a lick about him. I don't think he
Yeah,
had that good of a year.
maybe not. But even if he still declares, he'll still get.
Oh, he's gonna get a chance, but I don't think he had a good year. Hang on, I'm checking him. Oh my God,
How was
what
his year?
happened?
What was the stats? Did he get hurt?
No, 190 carries, 880 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Dude, what happened?
He has more touchdowns. Dang. He actually has a decent amount of touchdowns. What the freak happened with his yards?
And he,
He had to have gotten hurt. Yeah, there's no way. He had a decent amount of touchdowns.
hang on, I'm checking how many games he played. Okay, or just don't show me. How about that? That's fine. Ollie Gordon. Why won't you show me his games played? All right, well, that sucks. Guess we're not going to figure that out. Here we go, game log. Played in 12 games.
Maybe the offense changed.
Let's see. He started out the season dropping 126 yards on San Diego State, or not San Diego, South Dakota State.
Yeah, he only had more than 20 carries in 2 games.
Yeah. But
I
then
think their offense might have changed, bro.
49 yards, 41 yards, 42 yards,
Yeah.
50 yards,
Maybe
25 yards.
maybe either it was an efficiency problem or his line wasn't blocking. I don't know. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Someone will give him a chance, but he definitely won't be as highly drafted as he would have been last year.
No, heck no. He could have probably cracked top of the second.
I do
Maybe.
think him getting that DUI in the offseason didn't help. But yeah, I think the Chargers, I think Herbert's the guy, Jim Harbaugh's the guy. They're doing it the right way. It's like I was telling Chargers fans all year. Like you guys are a year, maybe 2 years away. Like it's
No, they still
okay.
need more pieces. They're gonna be okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know you're in
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes' division and the Broncos are no slouches, but you guys will be okay. I promise. Chargers
Yeah.
fans, Kyle, if you're listening, you guys will be okay and you will be back next year. I
Yep.
promise. Barring injury, of course. But no injuries to any key pieces, they will be back next year. No
Yeah.
no question in my mind.
Yeah, I think so too.
But they got to address receiver. I'm only saying that with banking on the fact they're going to get either Godwin or T. Higgins or someone who can come in and be a one. Or
Hmm.
be a really, really elite number two to Lad.
And as far as the Texans, I don't think they'll go too far. But they are pretty dangerous when they can run the ball effectively, and CJ's making the reads that he needs to. And that defense showing up like it did when they fly, they fly. You know what I mean?
Dude, Stingley.
Yeah. He had 2 picks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog.
Dude, we called Stingley coming out of college
A
that he was gonna be like this, and then he had those injuries, so he wasn't. But man, he's finally reaching the potential we thought he had.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be a bust, only because of the injuries, not because he was good in college.
Yeah, I remember watching him in
Yeah.
college. We were watching those games together, and
Yep.
like we were saying about how Sting was gonna be a dog. So I'm happy that he's finally reaching his potential. But all right, you ready to rip the Band-Aid off?
Yeah. Can I intro it?
Oh, of course. I'm not gonna go that hard on you because well, we got bigger fish to fry than the Pittsburgh Steelers, but
Yeah.
I won't go that hard on you.
All right.
But you can intro it.
Yeah, we'll intro it. Then I'll just do a little. You can do a recap. We can do a recap, and then I'll just do roster stuff, and then whatever, whatever. But as we all know, the Baltimore Ravens hosted the Pittsburgh Steelers this past Saturday. It was a bloodbath. um, the Baltimore Ravens won 28-14. This was a rough game to watch, man. I know you were probably cheering the whole time. How was Hizzy reacting? I know you guys watched it
Oh,
together.
dude. I mean, she was just absolutely pissed
Yeah, it was
the
bad,
entire
man.
time from
It was
start.
so bad, bro.
Well, I mean, not to cut you off, but the Steelers had absolutely zero fight, zero passion, zero fight. But
Yeah, that's
continue.
which one of the announcers said that? It was so
Um,
true.
Herbie.
Yo, it was so true. He was like, "This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Where's the fight?" I was like,
He
"Yo,
literally he literally said, "What the hell is going on with them?" Like
yeah."
that.
Like
Like
just looking at him, even looking on the sidelines. Did you see the body language? It was so crazy.
it's like they showed up knowing they were gonna lose that game.
Like I've never seen that before with them ever.
Well, especially with a Mike Tomlin team just showing up like, here, all right, let's just mail it in, let's get this over with. That's what they showed up like. They showed up like a team like in 12U sports that knew they were gonna get their asses whooped and just were like, all right, let's get this over with.
Yeah, that's why Derrick Henry ran for 200 yards and stiff armed everybody into the ground too. That's
The
what you get.
king, baby, crown him. Keep going.
Freak. It annoys me so much that y'all got Derrick Henry. But looking at the stat sheet, you would think Russell Wilson had a really good game. He was trash,
Absolutely horrific.
garbage, and he only had 9 incompletions. That's what makes me even mad, even more mad.
Dude, he was horrific.
He was bad. Like his stats don't tell the story. It's crazy. But I will also say, I don't wish it for anybody's job to be gone. But we need a new offensive line coach.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's bad. And it's not like, even with our injuries, we still got talent on the offensive line. There's no reason for them to be as bad as they are, man. It's bad. Like, they're not as bad as they were a couple years ago, but they're bad, man. Russ
I
can't
feel
see the middle of the field.
I
But
feel
no,
like
no.
that
Go ahead.
McCormick kid filled in pretty
That's
good
what I'm
at right
saying.
guard.
McCormick was good, and he was like our fourth round pick, but he ended up breaking his hand.
Well, he had to fill in for James Daniel, who got hurt in the preseason.
Yeah, James
But like
Daniels is one of the best guards in football. That hurt.
he's a free agent. Y'all got to bring him back. But continue.
Yeah, I, that's no. I do think we need to bring him back. Now, will we? I don't know. Only because of how well McCormick played. I would like to bring James back. McCormick's more of like a run blocker, so that's why he played so well. Also, shout out to Zach Frazier for being one of the top rookies this year. Zach Frazier's a dog. I'm very glad that we drafted him. Kind of missed him a couple of games when he had gotten injured, but he came back, filled back in, and did what he needed to do. I don't know. Honestly, I turned the game off at halftime, and then I just kept checking back in after that.
Sheesh. After halftime's when they played their best.
I know, and that's why I kept checking back in, and I saw the throw the George, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I seen the 44-yard run, and then I was like, okay, I'm done again. But I'll let you get into it a little bit, and then I'll just go into roster stuff before we move.
I mean, I was genuinely shocked at how little fight the Steelers had because like I was expecting like, and I've said it on the pod, I've said it on TikTok, I said it to all the people that know me. I was nervous going into that game because division rivals typically play each other tough, and I was expecting the Steelers to play like the Steelers and play tough in my face, trying to run the ball down our throats. Like I was expecting a slobber knocker, and when they showed up with zero fight and just getting pushed around, I was like, "Yo, what the hell?" I
Hmm.
didn't know I was playing the Browns.
Yeah,
Like
that's exactly what it looked like.
I texted my Pittsburgh buddy. I said, "Yin's got out toughed."
Did we? Yo, like it makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. But I'm about to get into a rant, so I'm gonna let you finish first before I go.
I was very pleased with what I saw from the team on both sides talking about the Ravens. I mean, Lamar did some Lamar stuff. Lamar needs to stop running as much because he got hurt. So Lamar, we're
Yeah.
never going to win a Super Bowl without you when you're on the roster. So please do not get hurt. The
Hmm.
King, I'm grateful to have him. All hail. Love Derrick Henry to
Yeah.
death. Defense
Can't believe
played
it.
good. We sorely missed Zay Flowers. Sorely missed him.
Hmm.
Like I feel like our offense, like it got covered up because Derrick Henry went off. But if Derrick Henry, let's say Derrick Henry got stuffed and he was only getting like 3 yards a carry, we were cooked.
If we had a competent defensive coordinator, it would have been a different game. If also if we were more physical, but they go hand in hand because our defense coordinator doesn't put us in positions to succeed. But that's a discussion for a couple minutes from now.
Yeah, but I'll wrap it up with this. I liked how the team looked. I liked the momentum we got from the
Hmm.
game,
How do you
but
feel going into Buffalo?
I was
Next
getting ready
question.
to say if we don't have Zay Flowers, I have zero hope. We're gonna get smacked. It's gonna get ugly if we
Hmm.
don't have Zay Flowers. If
Hmm.
we have Zay Flowers, I like our chances.
Hmm.
I genuinely think this is one of the very very few games where it's actually 50-50 on who could win this game.
Hmm. That's going to be a good game regardless.
It's going to be a phenomenal game. It could
And
be
if
game of
Lamar
the year.
doesn't get the MVP, it's rigged.
I think whoever wins this game is probably going to win MVP. But I
Even
actually,
even if so, I still think it should be.
I mean, if we're going off of stats, yes, it should be Lamar. But you know, the MVP is a media feel good award, so they're going to give
Yeah.
it to Josh because Josh doesn't have one yet. Which I
Yeah.
mean, Josh does deserve it if Lamar didn't do what Lamar did. But I digress. That's definitely some off-season fodder because I could go for a rant about that as well.
Hmm.
But I just did a TikTok today on Flag on the Take Social. So if you're listening and haven't checked that out, go check that out. Drop a follow, drop a like, drop a reaction in the comments
Definitely.
to see if you guys agree with me or not. But I did just drop a video about how I would fix the Steelers. So I'm gonna let you do your rant because you clearly got more passion about it than I do. But I'll let you do your thing and then I'll tell you what I said.
Yeah, okay. I'm about to say I haven't seen it yet, so yeah, just let me know what correlates and what you would do differently after I say what I say.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so I'll start. First and foremost, Russell Wilson is not coming back to my football team.
we already got two different opinions, but keep going.
No, bro, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. He's
Look,
not
I
coming
I
back.
did it from a perspective of what I think they will do, not what they should do.
Okay, I'm gonna put two scenarios. Scenario one, and this is the only scenario where Russell Wilson comes back. Actually, there's three. Scenario one, Russell Wilson comes back. We let Jay Fields walk, which I think would be stupid, and we draft a quarterback, like you said, maybe like Milrow or somebody else.
That
And
was one of the options I offered.
yeah, and that's the only way I can see that
And the
happening.
only reason I said it is because A, it's a Pittsburgh Steelers thing to do, and B, Russell Wilson is going to be playing for the vet min again next year, and you know the Steelers love paying him vet min.
Yeah. Now, if that's the case, like they want to go elsewhere, they want to go younger, and they know for a fact that they're going to take a quarterback. Okay, sign Russ back because he's going to give you, he's gonna give you more as far as mentorship and all that thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So, okay, if that's the case, I'm okay with being Russ. But if you think that next year, which I don't think so, but you think that next year you legitimately have a shot to win some games, do not sign Russell Wilson back, please. He will not last a full season. Like we were talking about last episode, he will last 6 games, look really good, and then he will crap for the rest of the season.
yep,
Please, please, please do not sign Russell Wilson back. Please sign Justin Fields if you're going to go with either of the two. Not saying that Jay Fields is a world beater, but he dang sure looked better with us than he has in Chicago.
I agree.
So, if you're going to give anybody a shot off any QB from this previous roster next year, a shot, it got to be Jay Fields. He's younger, he's more mobile, he's able to extend plays. He still has a big arm. Now, is he as polished a passer as Russell Wilson? No, and everybody knows that. But you can also hire an offensive coordinator, and yes, that means I want already gone. You can hire offensive coordinator to suit his. You would think that Arthur Smith's offense suited Justin Fields, but when you realize that the offense only has 10 plays,
Bro's got a Madden playbook.
dog, it's worse than Madden. Madden has a more diverse playbook than him. At least they have a multitude of tosses and stuff you can run. Toss left to Naj, toss right to Naj.
The Steelers, Najee's entire career has tried to make him a toss back. He is a north-south runner.
It doesn't
Treat
make
him
sense.
accordingly.
Like now again, I think his efficiency would be up if first off we made him north south and stop trying to do zone running schemes. I don't think zone running schemes work with us. We need to do power. I think his efficiency would be up. Definitely if our line was ever healthy, which they aren't. Cause not, bro, Naj's just still a dog. I'm not
Look,
saying he's like
I don't think
top
I'm making
five.
myself clear. I'll put this in a way that people in Pittsburgh can understand. Halfback power.
Yes.
Halfback power right, halfback
Dive,
power left.
dive, 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 dive here, dive there, dive left, dive right.
And if
He
you want
needs
to
to be
be
running right off the center of the guard.
and if you want to sprinkle in a little different play action or different play there, how about you do a wham? Same thing.
Only way he should be running behind a tackle if it's some type of trap, and instead of the guard, you're using a tackle, which I don't think would happen, but just in case.
Dude, can you imagine if you guys had a? Can you imagine if Sayamalu pulled in front of Naj?
It doesn't happen.
No, but I'm saying, can you imagine if they
Oh
ran
yeah,
that
it would be
concept?
amazing.
That's 8 yards a pop every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Especially
Especially,
if we sign James Daniels back.
oh, dude, let me take you to heaven real quick. You have Darnell Washington on, so you got 12 personnel. Darnell's on the left side, Frymoose on the right side, both on the line. You're running like a stretch concept. Darnell seals the left, and Sayamalu pulls to the right. Frymoose seals the right. Sayamalu goes through the whole Nodge behind him. That's 10 yards minimum every
Can we
time.
say that Troy Fautanu is finally healthy and he's my left tackle?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm happy then.
Can you imagine that? Darnell sealing the left, the backside, and having Sayamalu pull?
It would be amazing.
Oh,
but it doesn't
yeah.
happen.
But I think if you and I can draw up that concept, I think it's bad that an NFL coordinator can't draw up that concept.
Yeah. It's I again, I talked about it remember we even like off air we talked about this before. The Steelers literally went and were like, yeah, we're going to get something different at the offensive coordinator position. And I say this, I've said this 3 or 4 times. They literally went and just got Matt Canada 2.0.
Yeah,
They got Matt Canada with an iOS update.
You got Matt Mexico.
Yeah, instead of if Matt Canada's Android, like Arthur Smith's like iPhone 5C.
They sold their PS5 to get an Xbox Series X.
No, for real. Like, dog. No, they sold their PS4 and got a PS4 Pro. That's what they did. That's what they did. Frick, man.
Do you want to hear the options I laid out?
Yeah, because I'm over it. I'm done.
So this is not what I would do. This is what I think the 3 possible options
hold on. I do
are.
want to say something real quick before you go into your spiel, if that's okay.
Oh, go for it.
I'm just going to say one thing. Trade George Pickens sooner rather than later. Continue.
Oh, this is a part of the plan. Okay. So how I broke down because I started it saying, well, what the hell are the Steelers doing? Which I think is a fair thing to say. That's how I started that video. I think there's 3 ways they can go about solving the quarterback, and then I laid out some predictions of what I think they will do, because Tomlin did say that there will be some major changes coming. So I'll take him at his word for now until he proves otherwise, just to live in fantasy land. But I started out.
He says that every year, though.
Yeah, the first option I said, which I think is still the most likely, is the Russell Wilson, Jalen Milroe thing. Especially since Russell Wilson is getting paid by Denver next year again. So you know the Steelers love paying him, bragging about paying him $2 million.
Yep.
I think that's the most likely one. I think now this second one is the least likely. So I'm going to preface it by saying that because it is wild, but it, like, for some reason makes a lot of sense.
You better say something so outlandish, but go ahead. I'm here for it.
Just let me finish before you cut it off. Okay.
I got my hand on my flag. Go ahead.
So your new offensive coordinator is Mike McCarthy. Pittsburgh guy. Okay. Now, Mike McCarthy's great at being an offensive coordinator, and he's great at being a head coach / motivator of men, but he's not great at doing both. So, he comes to the town that he's from. He coaches the Steelers as an offensive coordinator because he got screwed out of a head coaching gig this year.
Mm-hmm.
And his buddy, Aaron Rodgers, is a free agent. So you bring him in for 1 year. Now, mind you, I only say this because Rodgers has openly said that he would love to play for Tomlin. But by signing Rodgers, and that means you get his buddy, Devontae Adams. So I think this is obviously the least likely. You bring those 3 in, and then that would be like your new offense going forward to run it for 1 year. I do think Pickens is getting traded this offseason. That is one of the things I said. I do think Pickens is going to get traded. They don't want the distraction anymore, and that they'll get what they can for him. He'll just be the next Steelers wide receiver that gets traded and then falls off a cliff.
I think we'd get it first for him.
I think you could. If you played your cards, I think if you sent him in a third, I think you could get a first.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the Ravens did with Hollywood. But that's the least likely. And then this one. Now, this one has only became possible within the past week. And I want you to hear me out, because don't listen to this as me saying they should do this. Listen to this as this is something the Steelers would so do.
Okay, I will say before you go into your next one, I was gonna ream you a new one for saying Mike McCarthy because I think Aaron Rodgers made him for the most part until you said that Aaron Rodgers was going to be a part of it. But continue.
You guys give 3 years, 110 million to Sam Darnold.
Oh my gosh!
You can't tell me that's not a Steelers thing to do.
We give him a Danny Dimes thing? No
No,
way.
more like a Baker Mayfield thing.
I don't think we would do that from the outside. That's just me. I don't think we would do that from the outside. I'd pay that to Bake for sure. But he just signed a new deal with Tampa, so he's going to be there for a minute.
Yeah, I'm saying like you give Sam Darnold the same deal that Baker got.
Heck no, he's not better than Baker. They better not. They
Ah.
better know that this Viking season was an outlier. That's not happening again.
Well, here's why I say this, right? There's no quarterbacks on the trade market unless you count Kirk Cousins, which I don't see you guys picking up that
No,
contract.
but as far as free agency, two of them are on our roster, and the other one, like you said, is in Minnesota.
But that's what I'm saying, and you guys aren't going to get a good quarterback this draft unless you get Milrow. I think Milrow's the only one you can possibly get because I think Dart's going to go before Milrow
You
before you
think
guys
Milrose's
get a
first
chance
round?
to him. I don't think he is right now, but like I said, I think he's going to test off the charts at the combine, and it's going to catapult him to the late first.
Hmm.
And yeah, I can just see the Steelers panicking, like missing out on Shadur, Cam, Jackson Dart, and like not believing in Milrow, I guess. I can see them missing out on those three, and then Russ walks, Fields walks, and then they panic.
As long as Terrell Austin's gone, I don't care.
Terrell Austin deserves to be gone.
He's terrible, bro. I don't understand every year. And I can't even blame him all the way because Tomlin calls himself a defensive coach, and I know he controls a lot of the defensive game plans. So I'm calling him out too.
I
He needs to
mean,
go ahead and hire himself a Brian Flores type and let them run their freaking defense.
dude, they had a Brian Flores, and they
Oh,
let
I
him
know. Don't
walk.
remind me. Don't remind me. And they gave him a assistant defensive
Linebackers
analytics
coach.
position, whatever the freak they called him.
They should have promoted him to defensive coordinator, but
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Talking about you wanted to give him an opportunity. Oh yeah, you did, and then you let him walk. You didn't lock him down.
but
Gosh, bro.
we'll have to probably spend a full episode in the offseason fixing the Steelers about what we think they'll do and then what we think and then what we would say like if we were Omar Khan what we would do
Yeah,
because that we could spend a whole hour and a half getting into that.
I'm
But let's
coming
move
around
on.
to the idea of Milrow. I will say that.
Just keep watching his highlights, dude.
I that bro. When I kid you not, I'm watching it right now.
I'll say this about Milrow and then we'll move on because we've spent 20 minutes talking about the Steelers. But Milrow, the highs are really high and the lows are really low.
Yeah.
So, moving on. This will be pretty quick because this game also was pretty quick. The Bills just absolutely backhanded the Broncos. Which shout
Yeah,
out the
I thought
Broncos.
they had a shot with that first touchdown.
I'll say shout out the Broncos. They were winning 7-0 and we're only down by 3 going into the half. But yeah, Josh Allen just put it on the table in the second half.
Yeah, his nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, y'all forgot who I was. Watch this."
Y'all forgot who I was engaged to.
Right. Bro said, "Oh, you didn't think my name was Josh Allen. Watch this."
My
And
man's new the guy from Spider-Verse was watching. The guy who voices Miles Morales. He's, I'm gonna show you why I got Haley and you don't.
Gee. But yeah, that's about all I got to say about that game.
Yeah,
Bo
that
Nix,
was it.
Bo Nix played good for a rookie quarterback in his first playoff game
Yeah.
on the
He didn't
road
play bad.
in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think they'll be better next year than they were this year because I think him having a second season in that Sean Payton offense.
I don't
makes
think
us
they were
get
supposed to
better.
be as good as they were this year.
They damn for sure weren't. They were supposed to
Yeah.
be a top 5 pick this year.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a rebuilding year because they got the Russell Wilson thing on their books. So they played with house money. It was good for Bo to get that experience. So now when they're actually good and they're in the playoffs, it won't be Bo's first playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
So Denver, if you're a stock buyer, buy all the Broncos stock you can buy. But do you have anything else to add to that? I mean, that was pretty cut and dry what Buffalo did to them. All right, moving on. We got the Eagles and the Packers. And the Packers got a lot of excuses for this game.
Like Jay
So
Herbert.
not even about like I don't even think Love played that bad. It's just the Packers, the injuries and then the this and they're
Yeah.
young and they had a million excuses for this loss.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I want to hear that they're young. Like
they,
they are. Don't get me wrong, but they've been there before.
they're literally the youngest roster in the NFL. Them and the Rams.
Yeah, they still been there before though. I don't know how much farther you can or how long you can use that.
I think LaFleur's got to step up, and I think Jordan Love have to step up.
Yeah,
I think
Jordan Love
that's
definitely has. You're right.
like
Because I think
he's
LaFleur is a good coach. I think he has the potential to be like a, you know what I mean? Like a, I don't
oh
want to say Andy Reid, but like that echelon, like right below that.
he could be top 5 for sure. But I mean, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. He went 0-4 against the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings this year,
Yeah,
so he's got to figure it out against good teams.
for sure.
And they lost to the Eagles as well. So, like I said, they got to figure it out against good teams.
Yeah.
So, not
And I
saying,
don't think Philly played the best. They just did what they needed to do to win.
yeah, I mean that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Saquon did his thing. Jalen Hurts played good enough. I mean, he
Yep.
was knocking off Russ, so I'll give him that. But yeah, Jordan Love, I don't need you to throw Brett Favre numbers every game.
Yeah.
I need you to be more consistent, like
The hero
Rodgers
ball is
was.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Jordan Love probably has the best arm punt in the league, but I don't want arm punts. I want
Yeah. Like we
touchdowns.
know you have arm talent, but my guy, you don't have to showcase it every play. Take the
Yeah,
touchdown. Be safe. It's
they
okay.
need to get a bona fide one. I think they have the problem of having too many options for him.
Yeah.
Like I
And he
think
feels
for
like he needs to feed them all.
yeah, like I feel like for Love, I think he needs like not saying they would get this player, but this is just an example. He needs like a Devonte Adams.
Or a
And
T. Higgins.
yeah, like well Devonte came to mind because of it's the Packers, but like can you imagine if he had like a Devonte Adams, like a bona fide number 1, like oh, like I'm starting to shit the bed. Let me just force feed Devonte because he's
And
going
he's
to be
gonna
open
catch
every,
it. Yep.
he's going to be open every time. That's a key to consistency is having a guy like, oh, this play absolutely shit the bed. Let me just throw it to Devonte because I know he's open.
Where they're coming up with their own plays on the fly because they're just like Travis Kelsey and Pat in their prime. Well,
Yeah,
in Travis Kelsey's prime.
he just needs a 7-Eleven,
Yep.
someone who's always open.
Yep.
So, I think that would be good for them. So I heard they're in on T Higgins. Speaking of you saying that name, so
That
I
would be
think
nice.
yeah, I think T would be good for them, especially because Watson could miss a good chunk of the season next year.
I hear we're in on T. Higgins.
I hear that too. I don't think
I don't
so.
think we're paying him that, to be honest with you. I'd rather pay him than George Pickens.
I think you guys are more in on Cooper Cup than you are T
Oh
Higgins.
gosh. I would have took Cooper for this year. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams move off him because their offense is pretty much Nakua now.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. I don't know about that one.
all right, let's let's not skip over the best game of the weekend. And
Heck yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to
That
get into this one.
did you watch all this game?
I watched most of it. I watched it like the back half. I watched a little bit. I watched a couple of the opening drives, and then I watched the second half.
Okay, so I watched the whole like first half and like a majority of the third quarter, and then I started fading in and out because I had work the next day.
Yeah,
But I did see the doink.
you did see the. Yeah, I saw the doink too. I saw freaking um, Jaden Daniels running for his life in the first half. That's what I saw.
Yeah,
Freaking line sucks.
yeah.
I'm
That's I
surprised
mean
they only had only one sack.
that's what the Commanders need to go after in the draft. They need to get a line. They need to get work on their line, and then they need to work on their corners because Sanders still's a dog,
Yeah.
but Lattimore, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because of
And
his
say he's
body of work.
rusty. Yeah.
Well, no, just say like he's been like that hammy's just been nagging.
Yeah. He's older now too, though, right? Isn't he like 29?
Yeah, but Sanders still is legit.
Yeah. He's better than St. Juice. He's
Oh my
trash, dog.
But yeah, the Commanders need to beef up the O line and just draft all defense.
Yeah.
Other than that, because the weapons are fine.
Yeah, De'Ami Brown, Terry McLaurin. De'Ami Brown's played better than I thought he would this season too.
He was like a no. He like didn't do shit this year, and then in the playoffs, he was just like, "Oh, let me go off."
Yeah.
Which,
No,
good for
who
them.
was I thinking of? Noah Brown.
Oh yeah, Noah Brown. He's been good for them as well.
Yeah, but I think he's hurt now.
I don't remember.
I don't know if I even remember seeing him.
Yeah, I was all De'Ami Brown and Terry.
Terry's a dog, man. I'm glad Terry finally had a quarterback. He's showing what he can do.
I'm just glad he's finally getting his respect.
Yeah, and even so, I still feel like well they had a good run game, so it's not like Terry's going to get all the targets, but Terry could have even had a better year than what he had.
But yeah, next year I think he's gonna have a way better year than
Yeah.
this year, and he had a great year this year.
That's what I'm saying.
But the Buccaneers, I mean, to lose in that fashion is just absolutely brutal. Todd Bowles deserved to be fired. I can't believe he survived because he didn't have just one coaching blunder. He had two.
Yeah,
Both of them cost them points.
yeah. You think it's more so Todd Bowles, or just because they play hard and they're talented and they're competitive?
All right, that's it. I'm tired of hiding it. Todd Bowles sucks.
Okay, there we
I've been
go.
on this train for years. When he got hired by the Bucks, I said, why in the hell did they hire Todd Bowles?
Yep.
He sucked as a Jet. He sucks as a Buck. I'm sure he's a great guy, but did you not hear his second half interview coming out of the locker room?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh my God. I mean, he confused me on what my right and my left was. He was like, well, we got to defend our left, his right, or our right, his left. No, our left, his right. And then we just got to stop him on third down.
What?
Dude, look it up. Look it up right now. Look it up right now. I'll cut
Hold
this
up.
part out the time it takes. Literally listen to this. I mean,
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
like, you could go to like a middle school football team, and not even the coach, not even middle school coach, the middle school players could give a better answer than what he did. I mean, my God. And he's been historically known for years to be.
Oh no, that's versus Lions. That's not the right one.
Oh, yeah. But you could literally ask a middle school player, hey, what do you need to do in the second half to win the game? And he would give a better answer. I mean, it was just like, dude, he looks so shell-shocked. And he's done this year after year, game after game, just constantly mishandling the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, well, Todd Bowles is a great coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. I'll give you that. The dude can call the hell out of a defense. But as a head coach, he is atrocious.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be retained, right?
Oh, yeah, he's already been retained. It's
Well-
so stupid.
I was about to say if he was fired, I know where he can.
He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. I'll give you that.
Because Terrell Austin, oh my goodness, my boy. I just want to have a chat with him.
Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Dude, it was like comically bad. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
How do you limit Jaden Daniels?
Got to get him in long third and longer yardage. Got to win first down. He keeps getting out of the pocket to his left, to our left, his left. I mean, our left, his right, and we got to cut that down.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.
What? How does this guy have a job?
You're right. That didn't make any sense.
Bro, he is historically bad at managing the clock. He did it at the end of the first half. He did it at the end of the game. Like, now granted, I know Baker's fumble is what really like put the nail in the coffin. I'm not arguing that. But like, Todd Bowles did not help at all.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, I'm tired of hiding it. Like, yeah, he's a great dude, calls a hell of a defense. I'll give him that for sure. But in terms of time management as a head coach, not the guy at all.
Yo, that's wild.
So, I'm glad I got that off my chest because I've been beating around the bush for months, like with our takes about the Bucks and Todd Bowles. I tried to play nice. I'm tired of it. Baker deserves better.
Baker does deserve better.
Baker went absolutely nuclear this season.
Yeah, bro.
So, the Bucks, they'll be back next year. They'll win the division again next year unless Penix goes nuts.
Yeah, I feel like the Bucks can only get better, to be completely honest with you. I still feel like their roster ain't even like all the way complete like they can be.
Yeah, they definitely need to draft defense for sure. That's where I would go.
Yeah. Now, this is just me. I do think they still need like a bona fide stud at running back.
That'll be Bucky next year.
You think so?
Dude, Bucky's
I can
the guy.
see it because he's nice.
Bucky's the guy.
He's nice. So,
Rashad White
we'll
was
see.
the guy, but Bucky is now
No,
the guy.
I wasn't high on Rashad. I like Bucky Irving.
Bucky's way better, but
Yeah.
Rashad just has efficiency problems.
Yeah. No, I like
But-
Bucky.
Yeah, that was easily the best game of the whole weekend, in my opinion. I feel like we hit everything about that game. That was
did.
just a hell of a game.
Yeah.
But moving on to, oh, dude, you know what's funny? This game we're moving on to. So I did the pick, and I picked the Vikings, and it had like 300 views before the game started, and one comment about a Vikings fan like being like, "Skull." Dude, the game wasn't over 10 minutes, and there was like 11 comments.
Talking about the Vikings getting pooped on.
Bro, look, all I'll say is this, all right? If you live in the paint, you're eventually going to get dunked on. I got dunked on, okay? They let it know. I was a good sport. You know, I liked all the comments. I didn't say anything back because they were right. Obviously, I was wrong. But, man, I mean, I just got absolutely
I know, but that's
dunked
also
on.
just the internet because everybody thought that. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody thought because I picked the Rams. I thought the Rams were gonna win, but
I thought the Vikings had more talent, so they were going to pull it out.
nah. Because remember, I think we talked about it a little bit. I was making the Sam Darnold argument.
Dude, I didn't want to write him off after one bad game because I didn't think that was fair. But, man, he shit the bed.
Yeah,
9 sacks.
I didn't
And
think it was
6 of
him.
them were his fault.
But to be completely honest, in fairness to him, I feel like the only time he's really like of course everybody has moments where they play bad during the season. He's had stretches where he's played bad, but to his defense, only time he's really like looked like crap back to back was really been the playoffs, which sucks that it's like the biggest stage and everybody's going to be watching, but still.
2 massive games. The game for the
Yeah.
number 1 seed.
That's
And
what I'm saying, which sucks, but it is what it is.
it cost him over $100 million because I thought I thought he was going to get 5 for 250. I thought someone was going to
I don't
overpay
know.
him.
Shefty's saying he's going to be the number 1 free agent.
He still is, but I think teams are going to be more hesitant to give him $50 million a year now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and give
45, 40.
him a more closer to 40. I feel like now.
Yeah. Maybe
like-
they'll make it sweet, like 42, 40, 43.
I think he'll get what Baker got, 3 for 110, and then they'll just give him a hell of a lot of incentives,
Yeah.
which I think would be fine. But I mean, you're insane if you think Darnold's going to play this good anywhere else because he's
I
not
don't
going to have
think so.
Kevin O'Connell.
Mm-mm.
He's only.
Or
I don't
that
want to say.
roster.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's only playing that good because of Jettis and O'Connell, but they
But he's
definitely
only playing
have,
that good because of Jettis and O'Connell.
they definitely are a huge part of it. And what's crazy is I led the TikTok by saying I know Stafford's gonna ball out, I know Nakua's gonna do Nakua shit, and they got Kyron and Cup, but I genuinely thought like the Rams defense, since they're so young, I thought they were gonna mess up at some point, or more so like the Vikings defense was gonna step up,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were gonna win off like a field goal or something. Like I said it was gonna be a close game. But
The Rams and Bengals Super Bowl was such like a microcosm of both organizations because they're both like slow start teams and then just get nuclear towards the end of the season. It's
yeah.
the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I'd rather be like that instead of us like every year we win like 7 in a row and then just like fall off a cliff.
dude, that Super Bowl was a good Super Bowl if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
It was a great Super Bowl.
Yeah. But that's all the games for Super Wild Card Weekend. We're adding that in there because the NFL's trying to take the Super out of it. Once you add a Super, you can't take it out, buddy. Well, let's move on to the divisional round.
Yeah, let's get our divisional round picks in.
Yeah, let's get the pick a little bit. We can do a little bit of preview. We got some time going here, unless we want to talk head coaches before we wrap it up.
It's up to you. I'm good either way.
I'm hearing Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are both getting jobs, so the Lions could lose both coordinators.
Mm.
So the Jets, I've heard, have interviewed everyone and their mother, and I've heard the Bears have pretty much done that as well. I think the Bears want Ben Johnson, but the Raiders are in on Ben Johnson because TB12 is personally recruiting Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson came out and said that he was not considering the Raiders until Tom Brady hit his line.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. Ben Johnson did come out and say he was intrigued by Caleb and the cap space that they have. So keep that on there as well. I don't know if
I'm about to
Caleb...
say, I think Bears are favorites right now. I'm even seeing the line. They got
Well-
Ben Johnson at negative or minus 125.
It just, the only thing that, if the ownership was better, I would say it's a slam dunk, but I think the ownership is what's potentially holding him back.
Why the hell is John Gruden on this list?
Because John Gruden's trying to get back into coaching. I love John Gruden. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Michigan tire lips.
Or John Gruden slander is not tolerated here.
Oh, it's tolerated by me. Racist bastard. Yo.
Nah. I think you're thinking of Jay. I think Jay's the racist one.
Nah, it was John. That's why he got fired from the Raiders.
I
They
thought
found
it was
his
because
email.
I thought he said other words.
No, it was the Michelin tire lips. That was John.
Was it really?
Yeah, bro, that was John.
Oh, I thought that was Jay.
Nah, man.
Oh, well.
John
okay.
used racist comments in reference to NFLPA head Demarius Smith.
All right, well, if that's the case,
Yeah,
that
bro.
off the field slander is tolerated, but on the
Yeah,
field
bruh.
slander is not tolerated.
I was like, nah, it was definitely John, bro.
I thought
Raiders
it was
head
Jay.
coach apologizes for 2011 email. Nah, it was John, bro.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, dog. That's why I was like, dog, nah, man.
No, I thought it was Jay. Hand
Nah,
up.
it's
That's on
John,
me.
dog.
That's
That was
on me.
John.
Hand up. But
Cole said, my bad.
yeah, obviously I'm not going to support those comments, but I genuinely thought it was Jay.
Nah, bro, it was John. We good, though.
That's crazy work.
Oh, man.
Anyways, I don't know who the Saints are going to get. I heard they're heavily linked to Aaron Glenn. I heard the Jets are heavily linked to Aaron Glenn, but they both can't have him.
The Saints suck, and I hope they continue to suck.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Did you hear one of the names that the Jets are considering?
Who?
Matt Nagy.
Ew.
Yeah.
You see Colts interviewing Dennis Allen?
Oh my God.
Yeah, brother.
Steichen's gonna get fired next season.
Yo, if the Colts interview Dennis Allen, somebody please check on Pat. Pat might have an aneurysm.
Dennis Allen has to be the worst coach in the NFL.
Dog. I low key hope the Colts hire him just because I want to see what Pat says, bro.
Same, bro. But yeah, the only head coach that's been solidified is Mike Vrabel to the Patriots, but we all saw that coming, and good for them. Storybook ending.
Yep, for
So
sure.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Mike. I'm happy for Patriots and their fans. I'm happy for my boy Drake May. He's gonna have a legit head coach. But let's get into some picks and previews because there's not really much besides rumors going on in terms of the head coaching hires. So let's get into some previews. We'll start with the classic Saturday at 4:30, just like they are every year in the playoffs. The Houston Texans playing Saturday at 4:30 against the Chiefs in Kansas City. Kansas City's favored by 8 points. That's crazy work. I don't know if they're going to blow them out. I don't know
if that's too crazy.
I don't know if they're going to blow them out.
It depends on what Texans you get, because even if the Chiefs don't play magical, we know what they can do, and they've been there, done that.
Well, my only reservation now is how good that defense looked. Defense shows up like that, they're not going to beat them by 8 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what Texans team you're going to get, because it's also in Arrowhead. You have to take that in consideration as well.
Yeah. I'll be rooting hardcore for the Texans.
Oh, everybody in the NFL will.
Well, just because I don't want to play the Chiefs next week.
Yeah, because if the Texans end up upsetting the Chiefs, I'm sorry, y'all going to dog walk the Texans. Easy path to the conference championship. Bearing in mind that you guys handle business against Buffalo.
It's genuinely 50-50.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. I won't be shocked if the Texans cover, but the Chiefs are. I'm definitely picking the Chiefs to win.
I'm picking Chiefs.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Moving on, we got the Commanders at the
This
Lions.
one hurts me. This one hurts me really bad.
I know, because, like, they feel like a team of destiny, but, man, do the Commanders even have a chance? This could get
Can I
ugly.
be so real? This game hurts me so bad because, like, who do you root against?
Neither.
That's what I'm saying.
You just root for good football at that point.
I want both of them to be my picks out of the NFC going to the Super Bowl, to be completely honest with you. That's why this one hurts me so bad.
Whoever wins this game, I want them to go to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to be so real. I'm going to pick the Commanders only because they're so close to home for me.
Plus 10?
I don't think they're going to win, bro. I'm going to be real, but I'm going to pick them. I'm going to say they have an outside chance. I'm going to do
You're going
it.
to say they cover 10 points?
Yeah.
Not me. Give me the Lions. The magic carpet ride stops here. It's in Detroit. Lions are fired up after having a week off. And Dan Campbell made everyone get the hell out of the building for last weekend. Like, he told them, get out, rest up, recharge your mental batteries, and then lock the hell in when you come back. So Lions are on fire. They're getting people back that are now healthy. I think the Lions are going to look to make a embarrassment out of the Commanders, which I hate. But the Lions got to send a message because people have been talking about them. But moving on, we got the Rams at the Eagles. Eagles are 7-point favorites. Give me the Eagles and a cover because they whooped that ass in SoFi last time too. So imagine at the Link.
I think this is going to be a good game. I think the Rams got their swagger back, and it's not going to be how it was that game.
I hope you're right, but I can see Philly just going to absolute town on the Rams.
Yeah, it just depends on what you get. But no, I completely agree. But I'm going to go Eagles, but I can see the Rams making this really interesting.
Saquon Barkley's going to go for 200 again, probably.
Possibly.
Jalen Hurts does have to play better, though. He has to not have the rust this time. And A.J. Brown needs more than one catch for 10 yards.
Yeah. I think this next one is arguably the game of the week.
Oh, dude, this could be game of the year.
Yeah. If it's not Commanders Lions, it's definitely Ravens Bills. Well, I think it's Ravens Bills just because of the caliber of teams.
Dude, it's gonna be 16 degrees
these are literally
at game time. That's crazy.
These are two top. I honestly think they're both top 3 teams in it. Top 5. Yeah, I think you guys are top 3. I think. Nah, I say top 5. I'm gonna say top 5.
That's fair.
Because you got to take into account the Alliance.
That's fine.
I don't like putting the Chiefs in there, but you got to put the Chiefs in there too.
Dude, they have 15 wins. We have to put them in there.
Yeah, so you got to put. I would say. Now again, this is kind of going off topic, but if we're going top 5, I would go Chiefs, Lions, Eagles. I want to put y'all over the Bills, even though they got a better record, just because I like you guys more. I'm gonna say Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, you guys, and then Bills.
That's fair. Now, riddle me this before I make my pick. Does Zay Flowers play?
My question to you is, how close was he to playing against us?
Oh, he didn't have a chance of playing that, but the Ravens said that they went into that saying he didn't have a chance to play because they were focusing on having him back for this game.
I'm gonna say he plays.
All right, let me double check, see if there's any updates at time of recording. Harbaugh, as of yesterday, said we'll see.
On Zay Flowers.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound great.
I don't appreciate that.
But that also might be a well. Buffalo's going to game plan for him regardless. I'm assuming.
Oh, they have to. He's our best receiver.
But don't get me wrong. I think that's a hardball. I'm just gonna be vague, even though we know that he's playing, just to give them something to think about, sort of thing.
So, Harbaugh was asked if Flowers would be ready to go on Sunday, and Harbaugh could not give a definitive answer. He said, yes, that's in we'll see mode. Flowers is working hard to get back, and we'll see towards the end of the week if he's practicing, and he can play without practicing for sure if he feels healthy enough and if it's safe for him.
I think he's just being vague to be vague.
I think Flowers is going to play without practicing. Like, they're just going to do rehab all week and then just, like, focus, like, hey, lock in on your rehab and your recovery. Don't worry about practicing. Just do a couple walkthroughs and then just lock in for... Because if we do not have Zay Flowers, we do not have a chance in hell. Unless Josh Allen reverts back to how he was his rookie year and throws, like, 4 picks trying to be Superman, we do not have a chance in living hell at all.
I wouldn't say that, bro.
Oh, I would
You guys are
absolutely
a good
say
organization, and you still have Lamar Jackson, even without Zay Flowers playing. Now, I get it. Against us, you could get away with it because we fell off a cliff and we were a bad team towards the end.
We don't have the weapons to get into a shootout with them. If we
I
run
don't
the
think
ball,
it would be
we'll
a
be
shootout
fine.
because you know what you guys' defense has done in the last 7 weeks of the season,
Yeah, but Josh Allen has been white hot the last 7 weeks too.
and that's all you got to worry about. They don't have anything else.
It's the unstoppable object meets the immovable, or it's the unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
I think I like you guys more than I like the Bills.
I mean, I
For
do
sure.
too, but Bills also have that home field advantage. With Buffalo, it's a legit advantage. So,
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
just gonna be throwing snowballs at y'all. That's it.
I'm picking the Ravens all the way, but if we don't have Zay Flowers, I have zero hope of winning the game. I'll be
Fair enough.
honest.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that just about does it for us. You got anything else to add before we get out of here?
As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We love doing this every week, and we want to continue to keep it up. We got some good content coming for you guys. We're gonna, brainstorm some stuff even in the off season. We got some things planned, but we appreciate you guys, and please like, comment, subscribe, share with friends, family. We're trying to get this thing out there, but we appreciate you again. I can't say it enough. Thank God that we get to do this. Thank God for you, bro, and no, we love you guys.
Yeah, thank God for you too, bro. Yeah, follow us on all socials, subscribe. I've been out here trying to market the hell out of this to try and get our views up. So spread the word, please. Make this a little bit easier for me. But no, we're extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful for everyone that listens and tunes in and interacts on socials. So appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. See ya.